my secondary YouTube channel and whatnot. I greet everybody upon this afternoon. You know what I mean? You know how we do it, having these good old conversations, whether we talk on the bottom in the afternoon or the late evening, and what have you. Y'all know my disclaimer. I'm not a pastor, preacher. I don't hold any type of office in the church. So please do not lay claims of those titles on me. We're not here to violate any type of community guidelines, any type of copyright infringement, or any type of privacy guidelines at all. Shout out to everybody who's going to join this live now, those who are going to check it out in the middle, and those who are going to check it out when it uploads to YouTube. Shout out to everybody out there, man. You understand? We on here for about a good hour. You know how we do on a mobile camera and whatnot. And the algorithm is different, so it's going to be different people popping in and popping out and whatnot, saying foolish things, saying ignorant things. So be on the lookout for that. You understand that? Definitely be on the lookout. What's up to Courtney M? Shout out to you. What's up to Mr. Cartels? Shout out to Cartels Young. He said Shipyard 101. Wow. Work husbands and work wives. I just heard of the term this year, actually, and whatnot. You understand that? What's up? Courtney M says he was no husband, but I talked to a colleague before. He was dumb obvious. I got another job. Wow. So we're here to talk about the conversation and whatnot. You know, folks who got spouses at home. You understand that? A whole spouses at home. And play these little games about having a work husband, another person, or a work wife, another person on the job. What's up to AG? Shout out to you. He says, I think it's dangerous. Absolutely. Listen, if somebody got a spouse, you don't play no games like that. Ain't no too much jokes if you're married. If you know that somebody is trying to come on to you and you got a spouse, or if you're about to get married, there's no jokes, there's no game on the job. You know what I mean? And a lot of people out there, they entertain it and what have you. He says they can pull your hour file, anything. What you mean by that? HR file. He says people are creepier day by day. I agree with you. Human resources. Okay, I agree with you for sure. AG says creeping at work is discouraged by most legit companies. Wow. What's up to Jay Williams? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Thank you for joining this live and whatnot as we had this conversation. So I saw some people on Facebook. You know, they talked about the situation, had a picture up. You know what I mean? Or this is how, you know, your wife is at work with her work husband, or vice versa. And they had a man hugged up on a woman who they said she was married and whatnot. Listen, if I'm married, or if and when I get married, I don't want no fella around my woman at work. Listen, keep the laughs small. Small talk. You know what I mean? You said it's not forbidden. You said in hotels, we actually have a lot of married people who work together. But they be creeping too. Ain't that something? I don't understand that. You know what I mean? Why are people so amazed about doing things like that? What's the point of getting married? What's the point if you're going to go to work and you're going to tip and dip with somebody else? What's the point? You know what I mean? I thought going to work was just, you know, I'm trying to make some money. Jay Williams says no man should be hugging another man's wife. I agree. And he shouldn't even get that comfortable. She shouldn't allow him to get that comfortable. You know what I mean? You know how it is at you know, some jobs. Some of these men, or vice versa, they try to make the person laugh, to soothe them up, and whatnot, to get more comfortable. Next thing you know, you're starting to place the hand on the shoulder, and it could lead to more and whatnot. AG says, I remember 2 married people worked on the weekend and got busy in the conference room. News spread quick on that Monday cause they was fired on the spot. Wow. Married couples. You know what I mean? Not per se together, but 2 separate married couples knocking boots. That's sad, man. You says, guess their spouses were upset too. Absolutely. What up to Jay Williams? You says true. She should have more respect for her own marriage. I agree. You know what I mean? I'm very strict when it comes to stuff like that. Very strict, because I know how some fellas are, especially if your woman is attractive. Let's keep it real. Especially if she is attractive. You know there's going to be fellas trying to get at her at work, when she going to her car, when she pumping gas, when she going to the store, especially at work, because they spend a lot of time around each other. You know what I mean? Listen, honey dip, let these folks know. Let them know. G-check them. I may be striving for the Lord. I'm still working on myself. Let them know. You know what I mean? Listen, I got a husband. You don't need to try to push up or try to make me laugh, put your hand on my shoulder. Don't you dare. Let's keep it business. And that's it. You know what I mean? Cartel says folks will unalive over their work spouse before they unalive someone over their real spouse. Ain't that something? Man, oh man. It's crazy out here, man. You know what I mean? But I don't know why people seek that to be a thrill to do at work. They can't wait. Listen, they can't wait to go to work versus going home. When it's time to go home, they upset. You know what I mean? They eager to come to work because they want to see their work husband, or what they call their work wife. You know what I mean? Courtney M says, rich folks, mostly. You says, then they want to tell me, I'm like, no, I came for money. And that's the whole purpose of work and working. You come there to work, you come there to do a service, and you come to get paid. But some people go to work for pleasure. Come on, man. Some people go to work for pleasure. And what now? Let me get a sound check, man. Get a sound check. All right? As I was stating. So let me know if I'm clear. Courtney M says, I pray. Cool. I pray I make it out alive. That's enough work. Absolutely. What's up to Denver Doc? Shout out to you. Thank you for joining us live, and whatnot. You know what I mean? We're here talking about, folks at work creeping. And as I was stating that, a lot of them, they love to go to work and whatnot. You should be happy to go home to your spouse. You should be eager to want to go home to your spouse. You know what I mean? And kind of sad when leaving her to go off to work. Text her, baby, I miss you. I miss you too. I can't wait to see you too. You should be happy to come home to your spouse. You know how it is. Boo loving with your spouse. You understand? Calling your spouse on your break. You know what I mean? But a lot of those folks, they eager to be around that, what they call work husband and work wife. All right? Look at this idiot, man. Why has gotta be an idiot to come on here? My brother, life is short term. We know that. And every soul shall taste death. We know that. We know. Worship none but one God. We know that. You said, come to Inslime. Now, that's where you detour at. That's where you detour. All right. AG says, you said it was weird because there was no sign the two were even interested like that. Because to us, they were both married. Wow. Jay Williams says, gotta be careful who you marry. He said, most women love attention from all resources. Wow. That's a good point right there. That's a good point. You know what I mean? A lot of people, you know, when fellas try to talk to them, give them compliments and things like that, they entertain it. You know what I mean? Whereas though the husband, if he say something, that's what she should be more eager to. So you're right. All right? He says, if you have a woman and she smiles and always immense faces, you might want to reconsider. Amen to that. Amen to that. I agree. I wouldn't want a wife and a man and different men's face all the time. I wouldn't want that. Listen, if you want to be in a man's face and you at work, look at my picture. Look at my picture. It's going to be there. It better be your screensaver. You know what I'm saying? It better be your wallpaper too. You know? What's up there? All right, what's up to TNT? Shout out to you. All right. I don't know what you're talking about. AG says people must creep because they're creepers already. Courtney M says, is that comparable to vanity? Liking compliments from men. Now, if a female is married or on her way to get married, and whatnot, and she, you know, like compliments, and things like that from other men, nah. That ain't cool. That ain't cool. Listen, the proper answer or the safest answer, listen, thank you, but I got a husband. You know what I mean? Thank you, but I got a husband. And his compliments outweighs yours. You know what I mean? I'm focused on my husband. Safe answers. Safe answers. You know what I mean? Because, listen, fellas will try it. Even some women, too. But fellas will try it. Definitely. They see an attractive woman, whether she's godly or ungodly, and she's married, they'll still try. You know what I mean? And a lot of females, they just laugh. Ha ha ha, thank you. But a real godly woman, a real respectful woman, and I know some people, you know, in holiness, they disagree with wedding rings, but some people in holiness, they got wedding rings. Some people are, you know, they dealing with that teaching and whatnot. But some women hold their hand up and show their ring finger. You know what I mean? Or show their picture if they at a cubicle or something like that. Be respectful towards your husband. You know? All right? What's up? What is that? Karmic? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. TNT says Tony, them work wives and husbands is just code word for side meat. Side meat and side pieces. You're right. Denver Doc says, gotta make sure your spouse can be a mother, father, just as good as being a wife / husband. I agree. TNT says, brothers, have y'all ever had to run away from a woman trying to get you some leg? To answer that question, yes. Yes, and I was young. You know what I mean? I think I was probably about 23, 24. I wasn't even in church like that anymore. You know what I mean? It's sad, man. It's sad. You know what I mean? Very, very sad, man. And here it is, I'm young. And I knew better back then. You know? All right? Courtney M says, women like, well, I'm going to say some women. You says women like temptation. AG says, most married people I know wear a wedding ring. Well, yeah, some people do. Some people do, you know, at the end of the day. And, you know, in the truth of God, they, you know, disagree with it. But some people in holiness, they still wear it. And whatnot. You know? But whether you wear one or not, you're still married. And you still got to respect your spouse. That's another topic for another day. You still got to respect your spouse. You know? All right? TNT says, on work wives, keep sitting next to you at the meeting. Now, I'm a truck driver. We don't have no meetings or nothing like that. You know, I guess that's for the office people. You know? Courtney M says, is that why it says act like you're married since you don't wear rings? Are you referring to people in holiness? Well, I mean, in general, when Gino said that, you know what I mean? Hey, it doesn't mean nothing in the sense of if a person is eager to have a wedding ring at the end of the day, you still got to uphold your marriage. Although it's spoken against wearing the rings and stuff like that, you still got to uphold your marriage at the end of the day. You know? Jay Williams says, women know the difference between a compliment and getting hit on all levels. Getting hit on can be can be bold or subtle. Understandable. All right. TNT says, hey, ain't no need for hugging and for playing around with the opposite sex at the job. Y'all keep it clean. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like we spoke about, you know, the holy kiss. You know what I mean? I understand that, the scripture and things like that, but Lord, please help me. Please help me with that one. Please help me with that one. You know, my future wife. Please. If I see a fella going up for a holy kiss, oh man. Oh man. Whew. Man, oh man. I'm even tense off of the handshake. You understand? I'm a protective guy when it comes to that. Not jealous, but protective. There's a big difference. You understand that? Oh man. And we had an event, and I happen to have my wife and stuff like that in the future wife, whatever the case may be. Man, just look at my face if somebody tries to come up for a holy kiss. Listen, just hold my left hand back from keeping throwing the left hook. Just when moment you see me, hold my arms down. You hear me? What up, Cartel? What up, DK? Shout out to you. David Doc says, I got to the point where I don't even smile at he said he don't even smile at his job. Wow. All right. Courtney M says, I have heard of women who have great men. I mean, certain touches, yes. Could it happen? Yeah, it could happen. It could happen. Denver Doc says, ain't nothing but men at my current trucking job, and them men be making Skittles jokes to one another. And they got a wife and kids. I be telling my wife these stories, and we just be laughing at how weird it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen, I don't see what's so funny about that. I don't care how close two males are, two brothers are. You know what I mean? There's no reason to make a Skittles joke to one another. No way. You know what I mean? All right. AG says, wearing a wedding ring shows pride and being committed to someone. What? You still stuck on that? I'm far away from that. You know what I mean? I'm far away from that because I don't want to get on that. You know, people got different perspective about it, but at the end of the day, listen, you're still married. You still made that commitment to the Lord. You know what I mean? All right? TNT says, I wouldn't smile either if that's how they doing it. He said, everyone getting mean mugged. Oh, yeah. What's up to Christoph Jones? Shout out to you. Henry Ross says, all this outside work husband and work wife is all equal to being in adultery, correct? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You're absolutely right about that. You know what I mean? You know, folks got, you know, a good spouse at home, and yet they tipping and dipping. So you're absolutely right. But it seemed to be so normalized in these days. That seemed to be so normalized. You know what I mean? Having what they call a work husband or work wife, which is a side piece or side meat. You know what I mean? Jay Williams says, but here the thing, he says, brother, God don't condone divorce. What do you do if you show up to her work and she all laid up on the guy at lunch? Ah, man. Ah, man. That's why you got to be careful who you marry. That's why you got to be careful, man. You got to be very, very... I'm glad I learned this from the truth of God. I would have hoped I learned this when I was younger. But hey, better late than never. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but I'd probably be going to jail that day. I got to be honest. I'd probably be going to jail that day. You know what I mean? Because it's like, wow, I wasted my time. I wasted my effort. I put my love on the line. I put my heart on the line. You understand? And look what it leads to. This. I'm just giving a scenario. I'll probably going to jail that day. You know what I mean? So that, I got to be honest with that one. I got to be honest with that one at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But the respectful way, is, listen, brother, did you know she was married? That's the respectful way. You understand? You know, but, wow. That's flames right there, man. I'm sorry, that's flames. That's pure flames. Right there, to see another man laid up on your wife at work. You coming to bring some flowers, you coming to bring some good food for lunch. You know what I mean? To chill with your boo-boo stank. And all of a sudden, you see that. Wow. Wow. You know what I mean? That's crazy. I watched the show Cheaters. And I believe it was some, you know, shows like that. Where they followed the folks around. Some places was at work. You know what I mean? I think I was watching Cheaters and he was out in Charlotte. You know what I mean? He was out in Charlotte at some mechanic spot. And the fella was, you know, tipping and dipping with this woman. You know what I mean? It can happen. You know, a spouse at home could send a PI on you. You know what I mean? Tap into your phone without you even knowing. But that's why you got to be careful who you marry. The trust levels got to be there. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want a woman to waste my time. If you got those type of habits, thoughts, don't even bother. You know what I mean? Don't waste my time. My time is important, man. You know what I mean? My time is important. You know, because you can't get that back. But it's also a learning lesson. But it's like, wow, man. But you said for what? For richer or poor? For better or for worse? For sickness and in health. It's powerful. Now, I never said a divorce now. I just said, I'm going to jail. I said that. If in the future, you know what I mean, I get married. Because I wouldn't want to, if you really invest your time, if you really, okay, this is the one right here, Lord, you understand? If you do all those things, if you have good knowledge of the scriptures and things like that, and then you see something like that, wow. Now, people think it's a clean slate to do those things just because of the vows you made. No. No, not at all. You understand? If a person got that type of mindset, listen, the vows say this, for better, for worse, so I can go out there and do my thing, and she'll still take me back because of the vows say that. No, it don't work that way. In fact, it shouldn't work that way. If anybody got that type of mindset, listen, I wouldn't want to be bothered at all. You understand? Or anybody else out there, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't want to be bothered like that. You know? All right. Let's see where we at. David Doc says women and men need to utilize HR. Sandra S says, you said Tony losing it on his live is too comical. For sure. Cartel Young said that's rough. TNT said Joey Greco is a slimy dude. You know they had Peter Guns as the host at one point. Denver Doc says, I done seen men go crazy over a female and they not even married. So imagine if they was married. For sure. You know what I mean? Because you put your time, you put your effort. And listen, men cry. We can cry sometimes over a woman. I don't care how tough a man act. You know what I mean? I'm firm. I'm militant. You understand? I like fighting, but hey, you know what I'm saying? I shed some tears too back in the day, you know? So if I'm going to invest my time and effort in a female, along with other people out there and vice versa, if a woman put her time in a man, you're going to shed some tears. You're going to feel emotional stuff like that. If you see something like that in general. You know what I mean? He said, I had allergies. What's up to Yasmin? All is good. You know, Denver Doc says, I had to tell my big brother, she ain't yours. She ain't yours. Oh, man. It's a good conversation for sure. All right? Let's see where we at. I'm trying to get rid of this right quick. You got to forgive me on these comments. Scrolling down. Denver Doc says, done seen men break every TV, door, mirror in the house due to their girlfriend being out 2 a.m. in the morning. Wow. Wow. 2 a.m. in the morning. 2 a.m. in the morning. If it ain't work, because some women, they're nurses and they work, you know, to those times or throughout those times of the night. It's understandable. Some women are police officers and stuff like that, firefighters. And sometimes, if a woman's a firefighter, remember, I believe, you know, firefighters, they got to stay at the station for a couple of days. How would you feel? How would you feel if your wife is a firefighter? You know what I mean? And she got to stay at the station for 3 or 4 days for work. I think it's like 4 and 3. You at the station for 4 days and home for 3, 3 or 4, something like that. How would you feel? You know what I mean? But some women, they work those type of jobs where as though they got to come in at 2 or 3 in the morning. But if you're going out hanging out, nah. No way. No. If it ain't like a family gathering that I can be there, or that, the man, your husband, can be there, I wouldn't agree with it. I wouldn't agree with it at all. You understand? Another thing is, if you need like some type of service at your house, you know what I mean? Some type of service, cleaning service or cable or whatever the case may be. Verizon or something like that. And a telephone man got to come to your house? And your wife is home alone? Honey. No. What day that is? Let me take off. Let me take off. You understand? Or keep them cameras rolling and you sit right down, right in front of that camera with the audio. You hear me? Because even them type of fellas be trying to kick it with your wife. You know what I mean? When I deliver, to people's houses and whatnot, they got the person's number in the delivery application. It could be like, I don't know, Becky Simmons, and we got to call him. It's documented, and the husband pick up. I like that. You understand? It should be that way. Or the woman said, listen, I'm not going to be there, but my husband said, leave it at the left side of the driveway. Or if my husband is there, that's how it should be. You know what I mean? And these are ungodly people. They got respect for their spouse, even when answering the phone. You know what I mean? Even certain protocols like that. You know what I mean? Because you got a lot of creeps out here. A lot. All right? Where we at? AG says home alone but not a creep. Sandra S says the issue is that a lot of married couples struggle with boundaries. And so it makes sense that those lines get crossed at work too. Also, can a man support fire in his bosoms and not get burned? Well, you said a lot of married couples struggle with boundaries. So here's the thing. If a person is going to struggle with certain boundaries, you know what I mean, at work, then honestly, should they have gotten married in the first place? Should they? Because here's the thing. My mindset would be on my wife. It would be on my wife. And I'm being quite honest. You understand that? Because I'm not going to sit here and feed into nonsense at all. Even if a woman, there's been plenty of women, they come outside and they, their house coat. They come outside in their house coat while I'm delivering. You understand? The folk, listen, do your job. Drop the mulch, a pallet of mulch. Drop the lumber, drop the drywall, and keep it moving. You understand? But some people, you got to learn even before you get married, or whatever the case may be. Learn before. Now, some people may, stereotype you. He or she probably a player because of the way they look. Well, that's not the case. You understand that? That's not the case at all. If anybody is struggling with any type of boundaries at work, should they have gotten married at all? You know what I mean? Because like I said, the mindset should be on your spouse. You shouldn't even have those type of thoughts in the first place. You should have no type of wicked thoughts about a stranger or about a coworker that you want to do, adultery type of things to them. No way. You understand? All right? Let me see what this person wrote. Then Doc says, anytime your spouse says she's talking to her friend, I'd be wise to ask about this friend that she keep bringing up. Agreeable. Agreeable for sure. Jay Williams says, I guess when she has to stay at the firehouse, we staying at the firehouse. I don't think you can, brother. You know? AG says, wife is loyal and faithful. Henry Ross says, an outside work wife or work husband screams, you said sus. TNT says, going to catch some work crabs and work clap messing with that work wife. Absolutely. AG says, remember being 11 in high school, neighbors would look her up and her son has her name, not the dad's. Wow. Then the doc says, would you let your wife wear another man's jacket if she's cold? No! No! You hear the echo? No, no, no. You know what I mean? Because I know if she's working in the office and stuff like that, and it could get cold, no. Listen, make sure you have those things in the trunk of your car. No way. It shouldn't even be that comfortable with a man at work. Unless he's a blood relative. I'm talking about a blood relative. Your brother. You know what I mean? Or if you're working with your father or grandfather. You know, if it ain't a blood relative. If it's just some, you know, some clown trying to flirt, no. No way. Listen, even if you're like anemic or something like that, you better bring a jacket in that trunk. You know what I mean? Or you better Uber Eats a jacket or something. You know what I mean? You better do something. On break, go buy a jacket. Or if I'm off or in an area with the truck, I'll bring it to you. I'll buy you one. But no way at all. Not even something like that should happen. You know? What's up to Raymond? Shout out to you. What's up to Nicole Martin? Shout out to you. He said, I need to see papers. He said, most women bring a sweater to work. AG says. AG says, and when you realize you married the wrong one, there's a remedy for that. Wow. Realizing you married the wrong one. That'd be another topic. That's a good topic. Wow. Realizing that you married the wrong one. And just like with the wedding rings, you know, some people have discrepancies about the clause of divorce and stuff like that. Even some holiness. Even some people in holiness. It may come off like they agree, but some people like, man, I married this woman, this man. They cheating all over the place. You know what I mean? They sleeping with this person, that person, the best friend. Wow. When you realize you married the wrong one. Wow, that's deep right there. That's some deep stuff. That's why, you know, somebody mentioned earlier, be careful who you marry. Very careful. You know what I mean? I learned over the years, at the truth of God, marriage is no joke. It ain't no joke, and you definitely got to be careful who you marry. You know what I mean? All right? I think I read that one. Read that one. True definition. What up? You said Jesus Christ can bear the cross alone and his world goes free. Nicole Moore says women these days don't have class or decency about themselves. Huh. Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. That's why it's like it's like very important to come across a godly woman. Very, very important. You know? What's up to Robin Harris? Shout out to you. Henry Ross says these work wife and work husbands outside are freak off entertainers. He said freak off. Wow. I guess Nicole Martin's asking TNT, is that true for you? Is your heart to your stomach? Your heart to your stomach. Wow. What's up? True definition. I saw your comment. I kind of lost it. Forgive me. We're just scrolling down right quick. Dylan Doc says, better not be hoping they croak if you did marry the wrong one. Gotcha. This is a good conversation. Absolutely. We got about maybe 15 more minutes. Trying to make to the hour mark and whatnot. I believe Captain Kazariak is coming on around 8:30 tonight. He's coming on tonight. I forgot the topic. Very interesting topic. Patrick T. He suggested. He recommended the topic. It's a good topic. You know what I mean? The topic's on my phone. I can't check my phone now, but it's a very interesting topic. So I might put the link up to the public today. I might just do that. We're thinking about it, and whatnot. But as of now, Tazariak is coming on 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight with a biblical conversation and whatnot. All right, what's up to Paris? Shout out to you. Henry Ross says, what's wrong with her husband's coat? Why wear another man's coat? Take that trash off. Absolutely. TNT says, you says, nope, no food from strangers. I agree. Not even that. I like that one. I like that one. You understand? Don't even accept food from a stranger at work. You're starving, Uber Eats. You know what I mean? Uber Eats is out now. Don't be having no one-on-one lunch with another man either. If you're sitting down at the table and he happen to sit with you, move. Go in your car. Go in your car. You know what I mean? Listen, fellas, we know how fellas can be. We know how some fellas can be. We know. If my future wife, listen, honey, I'm hungry, I'm starving, I forgot my lunch, XYZ. Some women forget their wallet or their purse or whatever they carry. They forget it. You know what I mean? So hey, listen, I'll order you some Uber Eats. What you want? Let me know what you want. I'll send it to you. Or if I'm off or in the area with the truck, I'm coming to drop it off. You know what I mean? Simple. All right. What's up to Gino P? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. What's up to Miss Jackson? Shout out to you. Henry Ross says marriage is work and in life sentence. If you can't handle it, then don't vow and stay single and save yourself. Henry Ross. What's up to G Swole? He said, why does a wife ask another to provide for her when she has her husband to be, I guess you mean to do his job? That's his job for her. I agree with that. I agree. You understand? But that's how some spouses can be. That's how trifling they can be. Real trifling. You know, if they see this fella is hovering over them, every day asking them, you want me, can I buy you lunch? Can I buy you lunch? Can we go to lunch together? I'll buy you lunch. We don't have to do nothing. We don't have to say nothing. I just want to buy you lunch. And they accept the offer. Wow. Wow, that's sad, man. That's sad. You understand? Very. What's up, the Mercy Card? Shout out to you. He says, send that heathenite all the way back to Israel. TNT says, better not accept nothing, not even air if you're drowning. That's a good one right there. That's a good one. Then the doc says, in my past times, I was indeed foolish, so I know how slick men can be. Likewise, I'm sure there's women in the chat that knows the same about females. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know? And women know. Women know. I remember one time I was at this restaurant. I think it was back in 2000 and could have been 15 or something like that. You know what I mean? I think I was on a little, you know. I was with a situation, you know, having some good food. I don't think I was in the truth of God, in the truth of God at the time. So this waitress, she was coming off. And I thought it was okay. I thought, you know, she was cool, whatever the case may be. But the female noticed. She was flirting. I didn't know that. But so women know, just like us men know. When a fella, he may not seem to be flirting and the woman may not catch it in the beginning, but we know the demeanor, the body language, certain words, eye contact. You understand? Oh, we know. He said, my goodness. He said, I was born single. TNT says, don't even, he says, right, don't even make eye contact. Wow. Absolutely. Absolutely. What's up, the prodigal son? Shout out to you. TNT says, we finna slap cat with Bible today. Oh, yeah, she'll be a good one. Definitely should be a good one. G. Swole says, I thought that's a sign of insecurity to not allow a wife to interact with her fellow co-workers. And if a wife knows she's married, she should enforce boundaries with them if they are crossing the line. Yeah, we said that earlier. We're not talking about the interacting part if it's dealing with work. That's fine. But when we're talking about when they cross the boundaries. So we agree with you on that one, and we mentioned that earlier. You know what I mean? In the live. And things like that. You know? So it depends on the interaction. You understand? If it's dealing with just work, that's fine. If it's dealing with work, that's cool. And I know sometimes at work, a woman, she got to, you know, exchange phone numbers and stuff like that with coworkers, especially if she's a manager or a supervisor or a CEO or a president or a vice president at the company. Get a different phone. You understand that? Get a work phone. So after you finish with work, turn that phone off. Turn it off. Turn it off. You know what I mean? Have them contact a different supervisor. You know what I mean? Because a lot of women have been in that situation where as though they managers and supervisors, and you got these fellas keep texting their phone in the wee hours of the night when it has nothing to do with work. Nothing. You got some creeps out there even look up the women names on social media. Creeps. Creeps. You know? All right, what's up to Jonah? He says, get those bylaws. TNT says, I dropped the lives on the bylaws, but we didn't cover interactions. Cool. Prodigal Son says, problem isn't being married, it's getting the wrong one. Well, when you say one has to be very careful. One has to be very careful who they marrying. I know it's rough out here, and I know some people want to be married and things like that, and to avoid fornication, let every man have his own. You understand that? It's better to marry than to, you know. It's rough out here. It's rough. So if you got a person that you're considering marrying, and this person is just amazing, keep them. Keep them. Don't do anything to mess up. Don't mess up. You know what I mean? You can normally catch the red flags now when you got some knowledge in the truth. Because I know people went for people just based upon their looks or lusting. Now you got some knowledge in the word of the Lord. Now you could detect the red flags right away. Right away. You know what I mean? All right? I think I read that, G Swole. Where we at? Prodigal Son said they hide their true selves and it slowly peels off like an onion. Well, again, it's good to have conversations with somebody you're interested in marrying. You know what I mean? Listen, if you got anything that you're hiding, your personality, you understand that? That's going to show later on. And be wise to listen. To say, listen, let me know now. Let me know. You understand? Because it would be a disaster. G Swore says, I agree with you on that. He says, when we got a transformer woman, well, I ain't going to call this person a woman. I'm just going to say transformer. I'm just going to say a person who claimed to be a woman who's an M. He says, at your job in a position that requires him, okay, to have our phone numbers for work. And he better keep it that way. Wow, man, you in a tough situation, brother. You in a tough situation. Wow. Man, oh man, come to the truck driving industry. Come to the truck driving industry. I haven't seen not one transformer working in the truck driving industry. I'm not saying that there's none around in the business, but I haven't seen that one. You know? What's up to Lakeisha? Shout out to you. What's up to Selena? He says, men and women these days don't have respect for themselves. It's about getting what we can get. You said, so sad. Oh yeah. Jonah says, ask yourself, are you a one burner? All right. What's up to Rebecca? Shout out to you. I'm all good. I think I answered that for you at Yasmin. I answered that already. All right, we got about 5 more minutes left on this live, 4 or 5 more minutes. And then we're going to wrap this thing up. So if y'all got any last closing remarks to this live, let me know and whatnot so we can wrap this thing up. It's definitely a good conversation in general. Definitely appreciate y'all for coming on here, talking about this situation. Henry Ross says, "There's Skittles who as well get on this work wife, work husband thing. Weird." Well, I don't even want to talk about that. That's true, but I don't even want to talk about that nasty, filthy, yucky, dirty, abomination stuff. They may say that they are married, but it's invalid. Them folks got invalid marriages. You know what I mean? You said, what is the topic for tonight? It's on my phone. I forgot the topic, but it's a good one. I can't view it right now, but it's a good topic though. I think it's about, I think it's like, what should the Hebrew Israelites do to get saved? Or what should the Christians do to get saved? Or something like that. Patrick T, he recommended it. Normally I'll snub him away, but it's a good topic. What's up to Tyree? Shout out to you. He said, hope all is well, for sure. He says, I'm so glad I got delivered from that lifestyle. I was married and still flirting and doing crazy nonsense. Wow, that's deep. Sandra said, respect yourself and be mindful. Remember that you are a married person and you represent the Lord Jesus. What's up to Christopher Hanley? He said, what's cooking for dinner? He said, what's cooking for dinner? G4 says, I'm really thinking about being a truck driver, especially when a woman I know is doing that, which I would never think she'll do when she's kind of ladylike. Uh-oh, you about to start something, man. What's up to Jay Washington? So marriage is between two eligible people in which are I guess you meant male and female, in which are born that way, and anything outside of this or is not a marriage. It must be male and female for it to be a marriage. Wonderful. Tyree says, other girls, but he showed mercy on me. Thank God, thank him for that every day. I guess that was a continuation from what you wrote. You said you meant because I like the cooking videos, I cook more. Okay, Christopher. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm having fish. I'm having big fish and grapes. You know what I mean? For dinner. You know, I don't feel like cooking no rice. I don't feel like cooking no kidney beans. I just threw the fish in the oven and got my fruits with it and called it a day. You understand? So that's what we're going to have for dinner and whatnot in a couple of minutes. You understand? I'm going to enjoy dinner with myself until that time come in the future. You hear me? All right. What's up to Express? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. All right. We're going to close this thing out. God bless everybody out there. I'm Tony Harvin. May you all have a blessed and wonderful evening. Do remember 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like I said, for the most part, I'm really leaning over to putting the link out in the chat room to the public, you know, but we're only going to be on for like 2 hours in that conversation with Captain Tazariot, but we'll see. All right. Appreciate that, Mr. J. Washington. Cell Express says, last night was a good on how to approach women. For sure. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. God bless you too, Jay Washington and Christoph Jones and Ross. Showing everybody out there, all the moderators, appreciate y'all work. Tony Harvin, I'm signing off. Lord willing, check y'all out. All right. Appreciate that at TNT. God bless.